How do you guys even get on board with the Angular? When and why? There must be a reason for you to touch the Angular, correct? For the answer of the question earlier, I started to touch the Angular earlier around 4th January 2021. If I remember correctly, it was supposed to be Thursday. Wait, I need to check a bit. Nope, it was Monday. But it doesn't matter because what really matters is the date itself, which is the 4th January. It was the date that I start working with the Angular as a professional. The funny thing is that is the very first I touched the Angular directly too. I know about the existence of Angular since early days. It's just that I never touched it because I don't want to. I see the syntax and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do this. But happened to be the destiny is not by my side, so I just started involving with the Angular. And during that moment, it was like, no, my life gonna get confused. We have Async and Await in Vue.js, but in Angular frameworks, we don't use those. We have observable, we have modules, we have components, we have services, and that kind of thing is like bloated for me. The learning curve is very spiked. We have a lot of boilerplates. The funny thing is that during the 4th January, I just need to get it done by 7 AM of 5th January and then submit it to the client. The entire thing was there from 2 PM until the 7 AM for the next morning. And I was like, to whom I should ask to? Everyone is busy. They got things to do for the project. Like, I don't have time to entertain you actually, man. Luckily, in the next morning, my boss said like, yeah, you can just go home and have a rest day, and tomorrow you come back and we work together like usual. I really appreciate that kind of energy. You have done your job and then submit to the client, and the only thing that you need to think about is just to sleep for the rest of the day. And that's it. But let me be honest, the entire Angular framework is quite difficult for me until now, and I'm not gonna lie about it. Well, certainly it become much more easier nowadays that we have signals or resources, API or something like that. But as far as I remember, I'm involved a lot in the observables. Sometimes I think I have a Stockholm Syndrome because of this. But may I have to be honest also that when I check the observable and other kind of things, and when I combine it together, it's quite good. I mean, it depends on how you design the entire applications, and if you mix with the variable in the components or even the async and await methods, then not gonna work. This is because the entire RxJS library is designed based on the pipeline, and the standard variables or even the async await method is not a part of their pipeline actually. But hey, don't worry, we have signal now. It is a substitution to the RxJS library, and I respect that. But if I'm going to design my own project, for example, I'm just going to use the RxJS because I'm really familiar with that. The entire library is quite elegant, and it is very difficult for me, and I definitely gonna hate it, but at the same time I really love it, so I'm going to continue using that. Well, at least until I learn how to use Signal properly, but until then I'm going to use RxJS, and that is fine. You know, when I start with the Angular, right, I thought it was same like the other kind of framework and also the languages. Yeah, I know the Angular is actually a framework, but my actual point is that the way it's been written and set up is the same like the other kind of library that are available in the market. Yeah, I'm using the term of library here because I'm coming from the background that use a lot of libraries such as Fast API, Flask, or even jQuery. And that is the indication saying that I know nothing about it. So I get the Angular with the wrong foot. Meaning here, I'm using the other kind of paradigms that are available in the other languages into the Angular frameworks. So instead of not knowing how to do it, I make it wrong, and then it led me to the heretics way of doing it. I didn't realize that for the first year. It takes me more longer than that, around 3 years or 4 years, something like that, to finally correct the way of doing it in Angular. I mean, sure, you can do whatever you want with that. The framework is free real estate. If you got some kind of creativity, you can just do whatever you want, and it is totally fine. The problem is that during that time, I was required to develop a reactive applications that is reflect to the real time without using the word socket. Don't question me on that because that is the requirements of the applications, and I definitely not agree with that. And with it is almost like a real time. But the problem is that the entire application breaks. Some of the data goes missing, some of the page is broken, and some API never been called. Not to mention that I need to massage the data in the front end just to accommodate the back end. I cannot understand that back then, wow. Due to that, I need to find a way to understand the Angular and also the RxJS overall. And the best part of it, Once I understand how to use the RxJS, everything seems easy. It's just that no one can explain it to me better than. So I take time to rewrite the entire codebase. And I make sure one thing, it must be copyable and pasteable. And that's it. I kiss the application, you know. Key is simple stupid. That alone is my entire philosophy of developing the applications. I write it once, copy it, paste it, change it, and that's it. I definitely not gonna touch it in the future unless the requirement change. And I really hate the requirement change. Nevertheless, it works every single time. But having the idea and anything like that is not enough for me, you know. I want to apply it somewhere. But the problem is that most of the time, I'm just in the workplace. Sure, I can apply the freelance job if I want, but then again, it's not feasible for me because I don't exactly have time for that. What about making my own product? Nah, I'm not gonna do that because it's tiring. Just imagine that you already spend your time in 8 hours per day for working, and then you go back home and start doing another code base. It's not sustainable for me in a long run. And I believe a lot of people already experience some kind of burnout, and you decided to quit your job and have your own time, or at least at the very similar ideas such as going for vacations or even just staying at home and apply a lot of leave and that kind of thing. The only reason why you did that because you burn out. I've been there a lot of time actually. So I need a medium to release my idea, just to get the itch out of me. I don't need to be performative. I just need to get it elsewhere, like put it somewhere. Either for someone to view or just for the sake of my own entertainment, or even do something like groundbreaking, such as applying the imaginative refactorization in your head, or even applying the architecture of whatnot. So what I did was writing a book. And yeah, I did it. It's all about RxJS and also Angular. Or to be very specific, most of the time it's all about RxJS. I get to release a lot of ideas in that book. And not only that, I also apply some kind of modifications that I remember a long time ago that always play in my head. And at the same time, I cannot apply it into the workplace because we have a standard. So it's very good medium for me. Just in case in the future I need to apply it somewhere, I already have the book. And you guys should try it. Be it whatever medium you want. Either you want to make a product or something like that, or you want to make a book, or you want to make a blog post. Just do it. Just release whatever in your mind to somewhere else. Let the creativity flow so you will not burden yourself. And one very day, you're gonna realize that you're going to get better in that code base. Or even that languages, or even the frameworks, you will get better. For me, I just found whatever I want, just copy and paste, and that's it. I definitely don't like the idea of being a superpower that make a very good algorithm or something like that. It's not my thing. I just want to copy, paste, and go home. And that's exactly my book's title, Copy Paste Pattern. Yeah, the book is all about RxJS and also Angular, but it's more prone to copy and paste, and that's it. Just in case you are interested, you can check the link below. Or let's say you're not interested to buy my book, and that is okay. Another way is that I have a repository available in the GitHub, and that repository has a lot of errors which I replicate back from what happened since 3 years ago. And such material is what I use to write my book. In other words, let's say you are interested to check out my repository, we could do the breakdown of that repository available in my GitHub into a standalone video in a long playlist and can be shared with other people. At the end of the day, this video is just to talk about my process of going to get better, and I definitely going towards that. And my journey is not end yet. Until then, see you guys later.